Welcome on board the Love Boat.
Love, exciting and new. I'm aboard. I've been expecting you. The Love Boat.
Soon I'll be making another run.
It's a love. Welcome aboard. It's love. Yeah!
And greetings to our valued travel advisors. Welcome aboard. It's love, and it's love year-round. It's Carmen Roy, VP of Sales. So good to be back. A lot of you have reached out saying, hey, Carmen, why aren't we on every 2 weeks? Hello, Sue from Scottsdale, Arizona, which is probably what? Sue, put it on there. Howdy from Fresno. Hello from Athens. That's Georgia, not Greece, Larry. Love it. North Carolina. Sue, what's the temperature in Scottsdale? Is it like 120? That's one place where you never wear heels in the summer, folks, okay? I remember shrinking and thinking, what's going on? My heels were like melting. It's like the Wizard of Oz. So how's everybody doing? Have you missed us? I know you're so used to seeing us every 2 weeks. We decided that if you take a summer break, we take a summer break. So I'm in a summer break mode. Oh, look, my collar, it's kind of off. Who cares? Nobody dressed me. I'm wearing our special 60th t-shirt. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because I am finally the age of Princess, even though Princess is younger, by the way, December of 65, but more to come later on. By the way, as always, yes, we're recording it. We know how much you value, we want you taking bookings. So I appreciate that you spend 60 minutes with us. In the summer hiatus, it's only once a month. So we're giving you a break from all this, right? But everybody's favorite, just by the way, stick around at the end. We'll do our Q&As. Thank you for always submitting it. We actually listen. We actually want to take some of the live ones too. Those are always the most, dare I say, controversial, because you all love to pop up stuff that we have no answers to. But we'll get them to you because we have a great team that answers on the chat. They do a wonderful job. QR code alert. We are the kings and queens and princesses of QR codes. So we will definitely have that. Make sure you have your cell phone, but do not panic. We don't want to multitask if you're driving. We record this, put it on one source, but more importantly, we always give you the QR codes at the end. And then, dare I say, yes, we will show you the QR codes, but everybody's favorite, Marsha.
Hello, Carmen. Hello,
have
everybody.
you missed me? I feel like you and I have
have
not done a webinar in forever.
We haven't. And then for a while, we were tag teaming because you were traveling, I was traveling. So we were doing them solo. So we haven't been together in a long time. I'm excited.
Oh, that's a song. I'm driving solo. I'm driving. For you, solo means singer. For me, it's I'm like, how low can I go? I'm solo. Marsha, I've missed you. What's been up with you? Oh, stop with the awards. I want to talk about you, Marsha. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Leave the
I've just been
awards
busy.
there.
I've been
QR code. Love this. I know, Angel, my angel of music. I've got a 60 because I had a big birthday. And by the way, I'm 18 with 42 years of experience, Marsha. That's the way it goes. And I understand 60 is the new 40.
Yeah.
So there, how about that? And I know you're not even 50, Marsha, so I really don't want to hear from your
Yes.
younger self.
Yes, I am.
You need to respect your elders, Marsha.
50 for sure.
Did you see how I did that? That's very Brady Bunch of me, isn't it? Marsha, respect your elders. Even though Marsha, I think, was the oldest and Jan was younger. Just going on the record.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? I know that I missed Travel Age West Awards and you were there and you did the whole, and you, my God, Beyonce's got nothing on you, my friend. We drop a mic. You look like you came off the cover of Cosmo.
A little makeup and a couple sparkles can make anybody look good.
Let me tell you, you looked amazing. I love it. I am voting for you doing that every year, the red carpet fashion statement with Marsha from Princess. And you might have to wear it.
I was so nervous. That is so your gig, Carmen. Like, it's your personality. I was like sweating.
And that's why yours was favored, because it's out of your comfort zone and you were spectacular. So I'm thrilled. Okay, we're moving right along. Nobody cares about you.
Let's talk.
Just get us to it. Awards. Why do we love these awards? So this ends August 10th. We just have a little bit, just about 2 weeks on this, obviously.
Yes.
The World Travel Awards, 5. That's really cool. North America's leading cruise line. That's a big deal. Wow.
Well,
Cool.
We
Okay.
love these. You said, why do we love these? We love these because we always appreciate the stamp of approval from
Third
those
party
who know it
endorsement.
best, which is our travel advisors, right?
Third party endorsements. That's what yeah, but not that I don't love the World Travel Awards. I love the world. I am the world, but give me the other one because you know what's up. My favorite. My favorite, Travel Weekly Reader's Choice Awards, where we, by the way, we've been #1 cruise line in Alaska this week in pause 21 times. That's 21 lucky times. Okay. So I am banking on 22. So obviously, there's a lot of different categories. This is only the nomination part of it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's how I understand it, because they
Yes.
have until now, right, to nominate. So go ahead and nominate.
Correct.
Scan to vote. Nominate us in as many categories. I'll tell you, Alaska, we've won, hopefully 22. We have won. I love how we just looked at these categories. The New Ocean cruise ship is big for us because Sun didn't win
Yeah.
last year, and Star
It did
Princess is a
not.
new ship. So we need to have one of our ships win, okay, folks? I don't
Yeah.
have the kind of budget that the others have. So nominate us in every category, and then believe me, once we know, last year I think we were in 12 categories. I'm happy with 12. We always win
Yes.
#1 in Alaska. That's a staple. Academy has won.
Yes.
Technology we win because of the medallion class experience.
We
which is
won
phenomenal.
for groups.
And we won for groups, which is that's like you're the queen of groups, Marsha.
Yes.
And you were
Yes.
there
I was
last
so
year, right?
excited. I was so shocked. Like I was, if there was a camera on me, my mouth would have been wide open.
Well, we'll do it
nice.
again. I say
We
repeat.
will.
Okay, let's get to the agenda because we got a lot going on.
Yes.
So I know this, we were talking about that we were going to talk about Alaska because, 2020 Alaska, having like the itinerary overview and all that information with Mary, who's going to be our special guest, which is fantastic. We're going to do Alaska, but I kind of said, I think it's important because unless you've been living under a rock this week, we did come out with a lot of changes to Plus and Premier. They're not a lot of changes. I call them upgrades, right? We made a big best bundle package out there. We have the best package in the industry, bar none. We have the competitive flyer. We got the QR code for that. I get in trouble every time I go on industry things because guess what? Hey, everybody gets upset that I put up those letters. Who's N? Who's C? Who's R? Drop the bundles. Even with these enhancements, we continue to be the best. So we're going to go right into it. Then we'll talk about the LTO, limited time offers. But there will be an insider scoop at the end that I got hot off the press before I got on this beautiful Fort Lauderdale studio. And only if you're on this webinar will you hear it. And I don't even have it as a slide. So you got to stay to the end. And then we'll do the Q&A. Plus and Premier.
Let's get rolling.
It pays to Plus and it pays to Premier. Best enhancements coming, but it's the best packages. So let's do this.
Absolutely. So there's quite a bit to share. But what I want to do first, based on, thank you guys again for all the pre-registration questions you submit, because that gives us a great guide on what we need to cover here and what we want to tackle first. And so the one thing I want to tackle first is about the fact that Plus and Premier packages purchased prior to July 22nd of this year will remain the same. And so I'm sharing the slide with what everything that was included previously on our original Plus and Premier. So the good news is, first of all, 2025 is not changing at all. So anyone who's sailing in 2025 will continue to purchase the same price point and the same inclusions, right? So current bookings, sail with no changes. You make a new booking for 2025, you're purchasing the original Plus and Premier price with the same inclusions, right?
And I got to say, that's refreshing. I act like a
is.
consumer when we do this. I interview you. People don't realize I don't look at the deck because I want to ask the questions. Like I'm a consumer. I'm sailing on Star Princess in December, right? For the family reunion. I had my family calling me because they saw it on social media. I'm like, you're not impacted. We already bought the original packages. There were no changes. We're good to go, everybody. And so I love the refresher of letting you know what it is that we have because they are best in category bundles. So it's always good to refresh it. So that's purchased prior. But so what's changing?
So what's changing is we are adding. So I'm going to
Very
start a
nice.
little bit different than the way the slide reads. So we're going to
Okay.
talk about the amenities that are being replaced first, and then we'll talk about what's being added to Plus and Premier. So the amenities being replaced are the Premier desserts, juice bar, medallion shipping, fitness classes, the Premier clip, and Princess prizes. And let me tackle these as well.
But
So
can I laugh?
all of-
You know, I'm going to
Yeah.
interject and laugh, right? I'm
Yeah.
so glad the desserts are gone because, quite frankly, right, fitness classes and desserts never match. You know, I make fun of it all the time. But I also, before
I
you
know.
say why, there's a reason
Yeah.
why we're replacing them. It's quite frankly because the engagement, right? The utilization is what I call it. Princess
Yes.
prizes,
Yes.
people don't even know what it is. I'm like, and you know, every time I do a webinar, Marsha, you're so cute because you'd always put a plus and Premier the list. What is it that I like hone in on? The value, the three
And we
anchors,
always talk
right?
about the three most important pieces that people are
Anchors,
going to purchase
absolutely.
anyway. Yeah. So the amenities being replaced are the ones I just listed. They all remain an option to purchase separately, right? So they're no longer in the package, but you can purchase desserts, juice bar. You can pay for the shipping, or if you don't want to pay for the shipping, you can pick your medallion up at the pier, and then everything else is purchased. The only thing that's not going to be available for continued purchase is Princess prizes. So Princess prizes being sunset, and so that will no longer be available. Amenities modified. So for Princess Plus, what we're gaining is something I think is going to be very popular because it's actually something we've heard often that we wanted to see happen. We're increasing the number of casual dining for each person who has the Plus package. So it's 4, changing to 4 instead of 2 on a voyage.
And this is a big deal because
exciting.
remember when we pulled it out, oh
Mhm.
boy, did I get trolling mail. Hello. So this is,
Yeah.
I should be getting love letters now saying, wow, thank you. Thank you, Carmen and Marsha, for adding 4. My clients are going to be so happy. What an amazing modification. Okay.
Yes.
Next.
And then the really big news is that our Premier package is also gaining shore excursion credit. So I want to call out the fact that if you're on a voyage, if you purchase Premier and you're on a voyage that is, well, it wouldn't be 0 days. So it'd be 1 to 5 day voyage and you purchase Premier, there will be no shore excursion credit. It would need to be a 6-day voyage or longer for you to get a shore excursion credit if you purchase Premier. But these are nice. These amounts are nice. For 6 to 9 days, you're getting $100, and this is per person that has the package. 10 to 20 days, you're getting $200, and 21 plus days, you're getting $300 in shore excursion credit. That's really nice. I do want to call out too that the shore excursion credit is a shore excursion credit. So in the past, you have seen us give, like a specialty dining credit, or sometimes even shore excursion, and you could use that amount for different things. Like it was really an onboard credit. This is specifically a shore excursion credit that can only be used towards the purchase of a shore excursion. So I'm also going to answer something here that might come up. And I can't see questions, Carmen, because I'm doing the slides. So if you see something
Don't
come
worry
up
about the questions. We'll do
need-
Q&A at the
Yeah.
end, and
Okay.
we'll get live questions. I just want to go
Okay.
to the meat of it and the content, which is
Okay.
great.
If you have a guest who had purchased, let's say they already purchased their shore excursions and they decide that they're going to upgrade to the new Premier, that includes now a credit. We are going to do not cancel your shore excursions.
Absolutely
Do not
not.
let your guest, your client cancel shore excursions. Keep that booked because we can't guarantee if they cancel that they're going to get back what they had. Don't
Exactly.
cancel anything. What we've done is on the back end created a process that's going to give them a credit for what they've already spent their money on. Let's say they were on a 6 to 9 day voyage. They've got $100 credit. They purchased a shore excursion that was $50. When they get on board our ship, we have a process that's going to run through the folio. They're going to see that they already purchased a $50 shore ex. They're going to put the $100 to that, cover the cost of the shore excursion, and then give them a credit back for the residual. And that credit can be used for something else on board the ship, or if they don't use it, it will get refunded to them once they return home. So there's already something in place if somebody decides that they want the Premier and upgrade and get the credit, but they've already bought their shore excursions. We've covered it.
Excellent. Love
Okay.
it. So tell me what's changing. There we go.
Okay. So again, as a reminder, this only applies to January 2026 voyages that were booked after January 22nd or upgraded. after January 22nd. So the price for the packages have increased. Sun and Star specifically go from $60 to $70 a day. The rest of our fleet goes from $60 to $65 a day for Plus. And then for Premier, Sun and Star go from $90 to $105. And the rest of the fleet goes from $90 to $100. And I'm also going to remind everybody that if you purchase this package on board, it is an additional $5 increase in cost per day. So
I
we
wanna
want to
talk
help
about-
you.
I got to
Yeah.
interject. Couple things. Number one, these
Sure.
prices already came into effect July 22nd, right? So
Correct.
this is already any bookings before July 22nd. That's for January 26th and beyond. Okay, you're fine. It's
Yep.
the price increases on July 22nd for voyages January 2026 and beyond. When
Correct.
you go on board, the reason we have that additional $5 on board is, let me remind you, you make commission on this, folks. You make the commission, provided you book it 48 hours before, remember, because we have to make sure we tell the ship and it's all organized. So you've been telling us for quite some time, how can I even tell my client to buy it in advance? There's nothing in it for them. And I said, well, there's something in it for you, which is commission. You'd want to sell it, right? And make commission.
Yes.
The things
Yes.
that they're going to buy anyway. Now we listened to you and we added that extra fee. So if they wait to buy it on board, it will be higher. So there's your
Absolutely.
talking point right there. You're saving on things you would have purchased anyway, and you're actually saving money if you buy Plus or Premier in advance. But these prices are already in effect for voyages January 2026 and beyond, starting with Tuesday.
Correct.
That good?
And just a little review of what Carmen shared.
Beautiful.
July 22nd, 2025, new Plus and Premier packages went on sale for sailings departing January 2026 and beyond. So important reminder, yeah, I know you're still booking people in 25. We want you to still book people in 25. There's still lots to select in the fall. So you continue to make your bookings in 25, and this does not apply, right? This is 26 and beyond. And then we want to talk about the experience on board the ships. So with the new Plus and Premier enhancements, the experience on the ship is going to change slightly as well, right? So Plus, and we've got the price increase that we already talked about, and the fact that there's a difference between the Sun and Star and the rest of the fleet. But also, so we Plus already had 15 drinks per day, up to $15 each. That was the package previously. What is changing is that 15 drinks per day now includes other drinks besides alcoholic beverages. So it now includes your specialty coffee, 0 alcohol cocktails, wine, beer. It actually had already included those alcoholic beverages, but fountain sodas and everything. That now counts towards the 15 drinks per day. But what we also did was we broke out water. So water is now separate and not included, not going to be included in the drink count for the 15 per day. Each guest will get up to 12 bottles per day. And hot off the presses, it is either you can select bottled still or bottled sparkling for the 12 bottle count per day.
So let me tell you, I appreciate this because not only are you separating the alcohol and the bottles of water, there are brands I've been on, I travel everybody, where you got the alcohol and I still got to pay for the bottles of water unless I buy a bottle package of water or whatever.
Right.
So the fact that they're letting me do both, thank you very much. That is pretty generous and pretty cool. So thank you.
Yes. And then for Premier, drinks remain unlimited, up to $20 in cost each. And then we've broken out water for Premier as well. So up to 12 bottles, same, still or sparkling per day. So those are the main differences as far as onboard experience. And I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room because we get lots of comments about this. So there are things that are not included in the Plus or Premier package, such as soda cans, right? And we talked about this a long time ago.
Right.
Soda cans were brought out of the package, but you can still purchase the soda cans and things that are not included in this package. And we're giving you a 25% discount on those, and they don't count towards your drink total for the day.
Right.
So that is still an option. I know.
I know the benefits of the bottles, like the bottles of wine and everything else, right? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, the water, I am so happy to see this at least account. Why? Because like everything, there's such waste. When I've sailed and I see people, when you say unlimited or you tell people, yeah, you can have bottles of, they don't even finish the bottles of water. I've seen
Yeah.
people drink
Yeah.
half or a quarter. There's such waste.
Yeah.
And I think there's accountability in this. I'm big about
Yes.
accountability because I am one of those that when I
Yes.
travel with my group, you know what I tell my kids? Did you just order a bottle of water and you haven't drank it all? You're not getting up until
Yeah.
you finish it. And that's my husband,
Yeah.
I tell them. So I said, you need to hydrate. Hydrate.
Yeah.
But it's even that, it's utilization. How can there's such waste, right? So I love
Yes.
the accountability. That to me is a green measure right there. Super happy to see it.
Agreed. I so agree. And then we know that you might have
Our
guessed
favorite
in
thing, the codes.
sailing.
Hey,
Yes,
you're the
sailing
queen
in
of codes, my
2026.
friend.
So again, this will not work for you in 25 because this does not apply to 25.
Got
So
it.
if you have guests that have already booked with us and they cook, maybe they booked standard at the time and now they're deciding, hey, these packages sound really good to me. And honestly, you should also be communicating the changes and going back to them to see, hey, I think you might really benefit from this. These codes are the codes that you use in order to change from standard to our new plus or standard to our new premier, right? We did not create an actual code that is for the original plus to the new plus or the original premier to the new premier, because it's not likely that a guest would want to do that, given they're going from like, we're not including the original package does not include all those other things in the 15 drinks per day, right? They would be going to something that does have that change in it. And so maybe they're not likely to want to do that. But if you want to do that, if you do have someone that wants to do that, you can either chat with our contact center or give us a call and they can do it for you.
Those will be one-off and minimal. So excellent.
Yes, exactly.
And then my favorite is a comparison chart and the team up. Oh, I forgot. Complete package.
Well, this is just showing what the 26 includes. We kept the
That's
main
fabulous.
and the core to this package. That's the Wi-Fi, that's the gratuities, that is the drink package, right? Those are the main things, but everything else remained the same except for the items that we talked about that were being replaced. We still keep the photo package and the reserved theater seating, which is wildly popular. And you still get access to Ocean Now delivery without having to pay a surcharge for that, and room service delivery as well. It is like Carmen said, remains a phenomenal deal. And
Great
the
value.
proof is in the pudding. So we updated the chart for you, that chart that Carmen loves to share with brand C, brand N, and brand R.
You mean the chart that
And
gets me in trouble in all
that chart.
conferences? But you know
Yes.
what? We put our money where our mouth is. Even with
We do.
this slight increase in price, we're adding value, we're creating more value, and it's still better than anybody
Yes,
else's.
absolutely.
I'll drop a water bottle if I had one, but I don't. There you go. And then the flyers.
And flyers, we have help for you. So you can get this collateral printed. You can get it in a version that can be shared with your clients. And you can continue to promote Plus and Premier, which is the best packages in the industry. I
Fantastic.
need to also add, because I forgot to speak to it on another slide, about groups. So if you have a group in 2025, I know people can't answer me audibly, but you all should know it doesn't change any of your groups in 2025. I just want to reiterate that. 2026, if you have a group, what is happening? As of July 22nd, the price went up on the packages, right? So most of our groups are promotional, right? We do have some affinity groups in there as well, but the majority of them are promotional. We have not seen a great usage of the amenity codes that we provided you to give you the ability to change your group from the standard rate to plus or premier. The usage is really, really low and actually just kind of doesn't justify all the extra support that is required to have that feature. So moving forward, when you create a group, it's going to be standard. And then you can still promote that group with plus or premier because we have a very simple per day package price that you just add to your group price and promote it as you wish. But when it gets added to the booking, or when you make a booking, you're going to add the plus or premier at that time. We're no longer going to have the contract that has plus or premier on it because it just was very complicated for us on the back end for very low usage, right?
Makes sense.
And then moving forward. So you want to know too, what about my groups in 2026 where I might have had plus or premier on it? So if you had plus or premier on your group and you have bookings, we are honoring the original plus or premier package that was purchased. All groups will be updated though to be a standard group to what I just mentioned. And then you are going to add the new Plus or Premier to bookings as you make them into your group. If you have a true affinity group where this will not work for them, because, you know, true affinity groups tend to know each other, they talk, they want to all have the same package.
Right.
Contact your business development manager, and we have created a way for true affinity groups to create a workaround for you. So if you have a true affinity, contact your BDM and we will work that out for you.
And I'd say be proactive. And also, Marsha, just so you know, because we're going to move on and we got a great spot, which I think is a wonderful one to use. A lot of folks have been saying that the flyer, our comparison flyer, hasn't been updated. So I want you to know the team is taking it back to our marketing team, because as you saw, we just showed it to you. It is updated. So we want to make sure that we get it updated for you all to access as well.
Maybe we just maybe we forgot to load it, but we'll get it there.
Duly noted. And yes, Princess
Thank you for
Prices
letting
is
us
going
know.
away, folks. Okay,
Yeah.
Princess Prices is going away.
That is the one piece. So we're still in discussions of this, but that is the one piece that also may not be on the original Plus and Premier in 26. We're still in discussions on it. Yeah, and we'll give you more information on it. But
perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So as we move right along, because this is I just love it. Save on the things you love most, and I want to play the spot because it does the job for us.
Today's gonna look good with the frame around it. Like a dream come true, so glad we found it. So let's own it. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good day. With you by my side. With you by my side.
I love
that spot.
That's right. Save on the things that your clients were going to buy anyway. So there we go.
Before we move on to our favorite topic, I want to address something else. So lots of questions about Princess Prizes and when it is going away. We don't have an effective date yet. We do know Princess Prizes is going to be honored through 2025. The question is about when it will be sunset in 2026, right? So that we will let you know as soon as we have the details.
If I'm a betting person, it should be sunsetted as soon as the year's over. Nobody uses them. The prices were minimal. I'm sorry, I'm being brutally honest. You don't know me, no filter. Enough about that. I'm done with Plus and Premier. Can we move to? I got to thank Mary Jacquel, who's our guest, because Alaska's our bread and butter. Folks, people, we are Alaska. We're synonymous. It's in our DNA. We don't visit Alaska. We live in Alaska. We're part of the fabric of that incredible state, right? And and the community and the immersion in not just destination, but in culture. So I know Mary is going to be talking. She is a wonderful, wonderful asset.
Yes. And I want to add, so as we bring Mary on, I want to thank Mary because
look at that glamour shot. Mary.
She is one of the reasons, Mary is one of the reasons why you're getting a sneak peek on Alaska. So, you know, this isn't out until next week. So you guys are hearing some great juicy details that no one knows yet. Thanks, Mary.
That is true. Well, thank you, Marsha, and thank you, Carmen, for letting me join you today. Awesome. So I wanted to hit on our open for sale, which starts for our loyalty folks on August 5th, and then the general public on August 12th. We've got unique itineraries. We have some of the classics, as I call them. So as we go through this webinar, you'll start to see, you know, what it really means to be the leader in Alaska. And so this open for sale just shows and embodies the spirit of why we are number one. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'd love to just set the stage a bit with a video of Alaska.
Oh, what a gift it is to love and be alive. The sky is opening with possibility, and I feel my heart take flight. I feel like flying. Oh, what a joy it is to open up your heart. Oh, what a day to go and find out who we are.
spectacular.
I love
just
that
got
video.
goosebumps.
Me too.
Mary, I got goosebumps. That's awesome. And I say, and by the way, they're going to mute me because I always make these lengthy, and you've got a lot of content. What I will say is, you could go to Alaska 100 times, and it's like you've seen it for the first. And that's all I'm going to say. And then I hand it to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Carmen. Appreciate that. And you know what? I totally agree with your sentiment, Carmen. You could go to Alaska so many times, and it kind of feels like you're there for the first time again, right? So much so that I moved to Juneau, Alaska, and that's where I live full time. And that is why I really do believe Princess is number one in Alaska. We've built this legacy over many, many years. So over 55 years, Princess has been sailing there. But you don't really have to take our word for it. As you can see on the screen, a lot of people choose Princess for many reasons that we'll get into. And as Carmen mentioned, we've got a lot of content and not a ton of time. I want to make sure we get to Q&A, so we're going to go through this fairly quickly. But the good news, in addition to this being recorded, there's also a ton of materials that you can reference as well. And so after this next slide, Marsha, we do want to hit on our top rated cruises and cruise tours. Being number one has given us the ability to build upon our legacy year after year. So we know a thing or two about what our clients and what your clients want to see. We also have really immersive experiences. So not only do we have obviously our ships and our lodges in Alaska, but we also bring that experience on ship as well with our Princess-owned and operated lodges, as well as making sure that we take you to Denali National Park and Glacier Bay, as well as so many more locations and really special locations that really drive to the heart of what people in Alaska love to show off. So if you kind of dive into the next slide, when you're visiting Alaska with Princess, how do you do that? I'm going to hit on not only our cruises. We also have our Inside Passage cruises round trip from Seattle. We have cruises out of San Francisco, LA, and Vancouver. We also have our Voyage of the Glaciers cruise, and these cruises are very special because they combine, a lot of the Inside Passage ports all the way up through the arm of Alaska into Whittier and Anchorage. Those voyages are the voyages you would take for your cruise tour as well. And our cruise tours are really, really special to us. They really get you into the heart of Alaska. And so what's really exciting is on the next slide, we were bringing Star back to Alaska. So she'll debut in 2026. I'm getting some claps from Marsha. We're super excited to welcome back in 2027 as well. We also have the full lineup on the next slide. So as you can see, we will have 8 ships again in 2027, Star being the star of our portfolio. But that also means that we have 4 really awesome ships that go on, that will take people up into the deeper part of Alaska on our cruise tours. So we'll have Discovery, Grand, Coral, and Island. And then Star and Royal will be doing our round trip Seattle voyages as well. When we have people on ship, we like to bring Alaska and the magic of Alaska on the ship itself. And so we do a lot with our North to Alaska programming. This year in 2025, we revamped the programming. And so it's new and fresh, but we've also kept some of those classics. So like you see on the slide right here, we do Cook My Catch. So you can go out with one of our shore operators or our tour operators, and you get to go fishing. And then surprise, if you catch something, and when you catch something, you get to
Not me.
you get to have it, prepared by our ship. So it's a really awesome experience. And I think on the next slide, we touch on our Puppies in the Piazza. And even if we don't have that slide, Puppies in the Piazza still remains one of those go-to programs that folks really like to talk about. So our 2027 itineraries. So first, we'll talk about the round trip cruises and the Inside Passage. So as I mentioned, for Star, she'll be doing the round trip Seattle cruise. And she'll start seeing some of the individual glaciers, whether through Endicott or Dawes Glacier. And then we also have the Royal Princess, and she'll also do round trip Seattle as well. So if you guys go stop in Juneau, you can always come in and say hi to me. I will be there.
I'm planning on it. And while you're
So,
going to the next slide, let me remind everybody, 8 ships in Alaska. I couldn't be quiet. I'm trying. But the sales, I love our unique selling proposition. Number one, we have 8 ships next summer too. right? We're talking 27. You're getting the inside scoop from the subject matter expert. Did you hear? She lives in Juneau, and she just had an open invitation to all of us. Can't wait. The reality is Star Princess, which is still in the shipyard. She has not even been introduced. She'll be introduced this fall in the Med. Then she'll be in Fort Lauderdale. Then she's headed to Alaska for 26, her first season. You just mentioned she's back in 27. She was purpose built to go through the Panama Canal to allow us to put our newest tonnage. If that is not putting a stake in that ice glacier tour saying we are Alaska, I don't know what other company does that, and we have. That's how confident we are.
I think we also forget to mention that both Star and Sun don't have any obstructed staterooms, right? Any obstructed views. So that is also purpose built for like Alaska, right?
And the
Yes.
sphere,
Yeah.
the sphere,
Yeah.
when you're looking at the sphere class ships and to see the beauty, and these ships are meant for Alaska, right? So sorry, go ahead. I'm getting off on my sales tangent because I get excited. And guess who's going to Alaska next summer for her birthday?
We're excited to have you up there, Carmen. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to keep going here. So we have our ships, our Ruby Princess coming up on our 10-day inside passage, round trip San Francisco. And then we also will have a couple of itineraries start coming from Los Angeles. So these are a bit longer.
And there's more than one? There's two.
Yep.
Because Marsha has been stalking you, Mary, and you just finally gave. I've been here 3 years. It took her 3 years to stalk you, and you just said, okay, we're going to make this happen. You see? It works.
Thank you for two. Out of
We do
LA.
listen. Awesome. And so kind of if you move it to the next slide, Marsha, we've got the Voyage of the Glaciers. So this is a very special itinerary because not only do we take you to Glacier Bay National Park, we also include another glacier viewing experience. So you either get to go to Hubbard Glacier or College Fjord. And just to paint the picture, these glaciers obviously are massive. So when you're in these areas, it's this feeling of just pure awe. There's this rugged, breathtaking experience that you'll have in these locations. And so this is why your clients seek these experiences out, and we're excited to offer them on the Voyage of the Glaciers cruise. And then if you wanted to, you can combine those two, so Voyage of the Glaciers southbound and northbound, and you can do the 14-day round trip. And then finally, perfect. Thank you. The cruise tours are really what we love to talk through because it does get folks deeper into Alaska. And the reason why that's so important is because Alaska is massive, right? Alaska, I think that somebody said like Alaska is 2.5 times the size of Texas, right? But it is so big, and we kind of lose sight about, of that. And so when we go on cruise tours, it does get you a little bit further. So what is an Alaska cruise tour? For us, we've got 28 different itineraries. There's 4 different types of cruise tours, 5 different lodges. This is such a good slide to just say, okay, but what is our breadth of cruise tours in Alaska? But if you skip to the next slide, we dive into what it is. So I've mentioned this now, but what it really is a cruise. So a 7-day voyage to the glaciers where you're going to experience a whole bunch of wildlife and glaciers and things that are really specific to Southeast Alaska, like orcas and humpback whales and eagles. We then combine it with a rail experience, so a train that'll take you into the heart of Alaska. And this is by far one of the best experiences the people who have been to Alaska come back and they talk about. They're so excited about this because it's just very different. And then we also include a lodge experience. When I say lodge experience, there's typically multiple lodges that somebody will go on, right? Or they'll get to experience. And each of the lodges, I love that this slide was teed up. Each of these lodges has its own unique.
Sorry, it has a mind of its own, and it's like
I thought you were just going really, really fast. No, this is perfect. So here are the 5 lodges. They each have their own personality. We can always dive into this deeper, but I think the next slide really does show how far apart these lodges are and how deep you are going into Alaska. So if you can see right there, kind of the bottom center, that's Whittier Anchorage. That's where your ship comes in. And Fairbanks Princess Riverside Lodge, that one's all the way at the top. So if you think about it, all of these lodges kind of go into a single order, a single line, and you get to go mostly all the way through each of these areas, kind of depending on the cruise tour that you select or that your clients select. So I do want to shout out that there are a couple of cruise tour category changes. And this, again, was because we've heard that it can be tough to sell cruise tours when there's so much complexity. So in an effort to simplify, what we've done was we've taken the old categorization. And so for folks who've been with Princess for a while, you know that we've had on your own experiences, Denali Explorer, Off the Beaten Path, and Connoisseur. And all we've done is simply translated them to 3 categories. We've renamed them, so Denali Essentials, Denali Explorer, and Denali Escorted. What's truly changed is on the next slide, but I think it's worth hitting pause kind of on this slide to say, okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They might want a picture of this as well.
Oh, yeah. I like
No worries.
simplification. Less is more. Because
Less
this
is more.
I got to tell you, Mary, this is one of the biggest challenges when I'm at trade shows and people say, oh, yeah, you know, Alaska's Alaska. No, it's
Yeah.
not. Alaska's not Alaska in the way we deliver Alaska. But our travel advisors, they're nervous, right? They're the
Yeah.
subject matter experts, but they're not married. They're not living in Juneau creating and crafting these amazing experiences. So when they look at the categories on your own, what does that mean? Are my clients going to be on their own? Is they're not going to? And what do you mean? What off the beat? What's a connoisseur? Does that bring wine? Because that's the first thing I thought. Like, oh wow, they have wine on my. Ooh, I can't wait for my cruise tour with wine because that you relate it, right? So we've simplified it, and the new categorization, making it 3, I think is gonna. Number one, it's gonna help sales, but it's gonna help our travel advisors better understand what is the unique selling proposition on each of them.
Yes,
Correct.
Carmen, I love those builds. And I think it's also important to say, look, in our consumer research, right? So when we've talked with folks, when we talked with y'all, we've come to realize that a lot of people, even after they've gone on their cruise tour, they're really excited about Denali. And so for us, it becomes a lot easier to talk about cruise tours if we throw in the word Denali. And then
Yeah.
you can think of it as a base package, a plus-up package, and then a stronger package. I'm using the word package, that's the
Yeah.
incorrect term, but it's the idea of, look, you have your essentials, right? In every Princess cruise tour, there is a standard that we will deliver. That is absolutely the Princess Essentials. When you move into Denali Explorers, we also include really two really awesome experiences, which is you get to go into Denali National Park and you get to do the Gold Dredge and the Riverboat tours. And then the third one is Denali Escorted. This used to be our connoisseur tours, just renamed to Escorted. So it just gives that feel that and the terminology that folks are used to using. On the
Right.
next
And
page-
it resonates with what they're actually getting, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Makes sense.
So on the next page, here's just a simple chart. It can be a lot to take in right
I
now.
love this slide. Love
Yeah.
this slide.
Awesome. Because I think it makes it easy, right? You're saying, okay, here are all the things that Princess knows that people want. And then here's the categories and what's in them. And so we don't expect you to memorize this chart. I know it can be a bit much. So on the next slide, what we've done is we've actually created a handout. So you can take this with you, scan the QR code. This will drive you right to that location as well. We have an awesome marketing team and they have been helping support this initiative.
Let
So
me
we're-
ask you a question. I want to make sure you know me. I have a question for
I'll
everything.
land on this one.
Right there. The recategorization is for 2027 or 2026 as well?
Great question, Carmen. It's for 2027.
Perfect. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
It'll
also,
take us
just
a
so you
while
know,
to
if we,
catch up. That's why I'm asking.
yeah,
So
if
we're
we
going to have
move
you
too
back a couple
quickly,
times because I don't know about everybody else, but I am about reach and frequency. I have to listen to
Yeah.
a message several times before it
Oh,
actually settles.
and if
I'm
we
glad we
move
have
too
this slide.
quickly on a QR code, we do have a slide at the end where we're going to sit there while we answer questions, so you have more time.
Excellent.
Awesome.
There you go.
It's like you've done this a time or two before, Marsha.
I
All
know.
right. So the next few slides just kind of go through in more detail what the Essentials Cruise Tour is, as well as the Explorer and the Denali Escorted. On the next slide, one thing I want to call out is for Denali Explorers, we had an existing category called literally Denali Explorers. What we're doing now is we're folding in our off the beaten path cruise tours that typically went to one of our other lodges, which was either Kenai or it was Copper River. And so Off the Beaten Path has folded into Denali Explorer, and that's what you'll see on this slide. So the cruise tours can vary in length, but they get to go a little bit further into Alaska. Denali Escorted on the next one. You know, the main two things here for you to know is that there is a TD or tour director on land to help support your guests, and that most meals are included. Then if you want to go big or go home, on the next slide, we'll show the 17-night land and cruise portions. So this is it is our longest product, our biggest product. It is something for folks who really, really, really want to spend a lot of time in Alaska. And I would always advocate for this one because Alaska is a place where nature has to unfold around you. And so the more time you spend in Alaska, the more time you have the chance of seeing either more wildlife, or you get to see the different salmon runs, whatever it looks like, right? There's a bit more of time to just breathe, relax, and really enjoy.
Okay, I got to
Yep.
tell you that soundbite right there. Alaska is a destination where nature unfolds around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. So I'm hoping our
That's
marketing
amazing.
that was brilliant, and I'm going to use that in every speech that I do.
Yeah.
And then the only other question I have is really for Marsha. Marsha, can I get 17 nights off in 27 so that I can do the ultimate Alaska cruise?
I was going to ask you. Maybe we go together.
We could go together. Okay, there you go.
But I want to also add in that this Ultimate Princess Alaska Cruise Tour was created based on travel advisor feedback. Like, you guys told us that there was an opportunity being missed, that there were guests who wanted to, do this in one pop and be able to go to all 5 lodges. So thank you for the suggestion, and we delivered on it.
And 2 nights at each lodge. You
Yeah.
imagine? That's a luxury in and of itself, to immerse yourself truly in Alaska, the destination where nature unfolds around you.
I love that, Mary.
I can't believe
Yeah.
Carmen's quoting me right now.
We're gonna do a dash and by Mary Jacquel.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
I love it. I love it. All right. So you might be wondering the best time to go. I would say all year round. I'm quite biased because that is literally when I'm there. But if you want to
Wait a
think about
second.
it,
Stop. Okay. I'm no. What do you mean year round? Should I come visit you in November or January?
yes, you should. It is so amazing up there, and
No.
even in the cooler months. Yeah, Marsha's
Is
not
there
coming. but the
sunshine?
answer is
Will
yes.
I see the time of day? I don't know. I'm gonna gain 800 pounds because I'll be in like an Oompa Loompa with one of those Michelin outfits on. I'm gonna be freezing. How cold is it, Mary, since you live there in January? How cold is it in Alaska?
You know what? It's not as bad as you think it would be because I'm in Juneau, which is a little bit lower than most people, right? So if you're thinking of like
Mhm.
Fairbanks where there's sled dogs and things like that, right? That I did around and
Mhm.
stuff, it's not nearly as bad. So it'll snow and then it'll rain and snow, rain, snow, rain. So it's not too terrible.
How cold? Stop dodging the question.
I mean, it can
Give me the
get into
degree.
the low, it can get into the negatives, like let's just say negative 10-ish, but it doesn't sustain that temperature typically, right? So, okay, so Carmen just froze and almost fell over.
Mary, no, you know what? I'm
But it's not
inviting
that
Mary.
unusual.
Mary, you have an invitation right here, right now, in front of everybody. I want you in December at the Travel Weekly Reader's Choice Awards with myself and Marsha to go up on stage as we accept our 22nd #1 in Alaska Cruise Line Award.
That
I
would
can
be
get
amazing, Mary.
And I can
You
get you out of
deserve to be
minus
there.
10 degrees. Are
Yeah.
you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a new budget year, so Marsha will cover it. We're in. Boom.
I think we're just voluntold.
Okay.
Well,
And I
so-
think we did a great job of landing on the slide because a lot of people like to take pictures here. I'm
Oh,
going to
perfect.
point out that
Yep.
the star means time period where you are most likely to see those items
Yep.
or those animals or features, but we can't, of course, can't guarantee anything. And then, of course, May and September are shoulder seasons. And if you're somebody who's budget conscious and is concerned about pricing, they're going to get the best deals in May and September.
And if you're anything like me, love wildlife, one of the biggest things that drives the Southeast experience is when the salmon start to run. So the 5 types of salmon up there. So the Chinook, once the Chinook come in, a lot of times that's when you start to see the orcas come in. So we typically start seeing them April, May, heavy June, July. So
Got
just
it.
working on that. And then on the next slide, tools. So again, we have an amazing marketing team, trade marketing team. They've created so much content for y'all. Hopefully this helps because Alaska is complex. There's a lot to talk about and it's all exciting. So
Yes.
feel free to take the QR code. And it looks like we've got a sales toolkit teed up and ready to go for 2027 as well.
Reference flyer ready for you.
Yeah.
And then we're all ready for for the announcement that happens next week with an at a glance flyer with all the details that Mary just so eloquently went over with everybody. And then Mary does a phenomenal job with this video series. And it is on one source, and it goes into the details of Inside Alaska, kind of takes you through. If you've never been on a tour, a land tour with Princess, takes you through that process and gives you kind of the details, kind of demystifies some of the things you might have
Yeah.
questions about the process.
Yep.
That's
And
great.
we're so excited about this. So our contact center vice president, Jen Wright, gave us the opportunity to give you guys this sneak peek that we are launching a new Alaska expert line, basically an Alaska cruise tour expert line, right? It is not live yet, but it will go live. And the hope is that they're going to be able to help with something that sometimes people feel is a little bit on the complicated side. So our travel advisor is going to be able to call this number if you have questions about how to book a cruise tour, getting a cruise tour booked. If you have questions about an existing cruise tour that you already have, this number, 888-260-0837, will also be in our travel advisor newsletter next week. And this number goes live tentatively August 4th. We're shooting for it to be live August 4th, but we will formally announce it as well in our travel advisor newsletter that comes from Carmen. We're so excited to have this. I think this is going to be a
big.
huge help.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is big. This is raising the bar because, again, we want to be a pleasure to do business with. And Alaska's not, once you've sold it, it's great. But first of all, I want to say congrats to the entire team for putting all these amazing assets together. And obviously, Mary, you know, I joke with you a lot, but your passion makes the difference, right? In how you curate everything. This is not cookie cutter year after year. And that is why we're number one. It's as simple as that. So taking it, and thank you, Jen and her team, for creating the line for the expert advice, right? So that we can make this simple for you to sell. And the more you sell it and the more success you have, the more success we have. So super excited about the addition.
And we are going on sale soon.
August 5th, loyalty member.
Access August 5th, general public August 12th. And when we go live, you are also then able to also open your groups. We often get that question. And we have accessibility. The team does a phenomenal job about making sure that guests who have accessible needs can still sail with us and also still do land as well. We had a team, Carmen just talked about our trade marketing team. They do a phenomenal job of listening. And we take a lot of the pre-registration questions that you give us and turn them into assets, because you're asking the question and I'm hearing it multiple times, and that means we have a need. And based on that feedback that we got all those questions about accessible cruising, we created this brochure, and our team did a phenomenal job of giving you this asset. You can scan here to access it. You can order it. There's always a digital version as well as the version that you can order. And we're very proud of the assets we have. Destination collection, spring 26-27. I've been at events where we're giving this baby out. Everyone is so excited that we are continuing our commitment to printed brochures. We know how this is so important to you and to your clients. People need to touch and feel things, especially when they're making such a big commitment on their vacation time, right? So we are committed to continue to give you these brochures, and we have the new one already for you for 26-27.
And we're a premium brand. We deserve to have, the brand overview. Everybody loves this. Oops.
And this is my favorite. I actually always have one next to me.
Me too.
And when I get questions, I whip this baby out and I'm able to answer what ship is where can I do Europe? Where can I cover what ship is doing the med? I can't keep it all in my head sometimes, but this is a great tool for you. And it's also nice and light, right? So it doesn't have everything, all the other pieces to it, but it has where the ships are, what day, what month. It's a phenomenal tool.
It's my reference guide, Marsha, just so you know. You've been here how long? In October, it'll be what, 28 years?
28 years. Yeah. And believe it or not, I'm still a baby. I was just at my dear friend's retirement party last night, Dana Berger, who's been with us for 40 years, Carmen. 40 years.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So, and I'll tell you, so that reference guide is critical to me because I use it. So we're going to go quickly through some of the notes. And Mary, stand by because there might be some questions. So seminars at sea, this is really our opportunity. I'm happy, but we've dwindled. So registration's now open. Look at the QR code because it is not a boondoggle, people. We actually train, which is phenomenal. Yes. Discounted rate with Princess Plus included. And there are the dates that are left. because we've escorted several. So pretty much
Yes, we have.
we're dwindling. And next year we're trying to get dates, but I can't guarantee you what's going to happen. And then look at our Love Fest. Yes, because we own love. It's our DNA. And so these are year-long road shows. We do them either on the ships or we've done some on land. So they're always hosted by one of our local BDMs. And again, it talks about new sales programs. It's really about what makes Princess such a lovable brand besides being the original Love Boat. It's really
Yeah.
what we continue to do to elevate love, but more importantly, elevate our experience with you, our travel advisors. So here are some of the
Yes.
Love Fests that are coming up. Mark does an amazing job in Seattle. There you go.
I'll be in
Limited
Seattle with
space
Mark
left
on
in.
August 2nd. So I hope to
Right.
see you guys. There's still some space if you'd like to register.
And then we've got some dates through December. And then, of course, let's talk about the Love Boat sale, up to 40% off. Free. You guys have asked for this. So now we just keep shifting. And you know, it all started when we look at Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and we start our sales. Then we start our wave sales in December, normally the 9th or the 10th. And we take it through to March because you asked for it. We just want to have that consistency. So when we run these kind of offers, Love Boat sale that's on now, it's through September 1st. Now, one of the things that I said that I'd give you the insider scoop is, as we've done these sales, we've been doing like mini boosts within our sale periods because they go a long period of time. We just kind of want to boost them. And a lot of you said, listen, like the Mother's Day one, they were not happy about because it was over a weekend. And many of you aren't working on a Sunday, right? And they're very short.
Right.
So with the next one, and we have no slide, this is just insider scoop. We're going to test it for a week so that when we launch it, if it's a Friday to a Sunday, we actually do it Friday to Friday. And that's where we can really gauge whether it makes a difference. And I can say to the team, folks, you see, you get more bookings from our trade partners when they're open and you extend it for a week, even if it's a quick boost. So we're going to test that. No slide on it. Just you heard it here first and want to make sure you know because one's coming up and you'll hear it. And then I love this. Don't like me, just love me. I feel like I want an award. I've been up for 1,000 Oscars and I can't win. Anyway, we give
you get all the updated information by liking Carmen on
it's-
Facebook, as well as all the information about these webinars and updates on Princess. So it's a valuable like, and you should do it.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And then, of course, we're going to get to the Q&A because we've got 2 minutes. That in my world is like 2 hours in anybody else's world. But it will go to the scanning codes just so as we're taking questions. Marsha, and I've got a few right here. And Mary, I'm glad you're on.
Sure.
So quick one. When will the Alaska 27 itinerary schedules and pricing for groups be available?
It's available. So when we send out the information next week, all that's going to be included. It'll be available at the same time. Groups is always open and available at the same time as FIT bookings.
Excellent. Can a group be created for an Alaska tour and cruise?
Yes. And I actually suggest that you open one of each because you're going to have some people that would only want to do the cruise and they may not have all the time they can do the cruise tour. So open one of each, the Alaska cruise only and the cruise tour. And then we automatically will count the total number of bookings. We'll add the cruise tour to your cruise only to give you a TC earning.
Wow. Okay. I think we need a webinar just on that because you're the queen of gurus, TCs, and groups. Okay. The other one. So will you offer Katmai cruise tours in 27? I thought we had them in 26. Do we?
No, we haven't. We had it this year in 25.
I know. Everybody
No,
loved that little cat. Okay. So we're not going to have it in 26 and 27. There's Mary. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one, but that just makes room for any other new opportunities that we're looking into. So.
God, you're such a positive person. I used to be that way. And then Marsha stole the show. Where can I book my clients' dining requests? It's like, this is like single dating. This is like really
Yes. So we need to continue to shout from the rooftops about our wonderful dine line that we have available for guests who are final paid. This is just a reminder. The guest needs to be final paid, or if they're not final paid yet, platinum and elite status with Princess or in a suite. And then they can book after they have deposited, right? But this dine line is 24/7, which is amazing. And so you can either continue to use the app, the website that we have available to you, or you can call this dine line and they're very happy to help you.
So we got a dine line, whoop, 24/7. We're going to add on August 4th the Princess Alaska Cruise Tour Expert line. We are just killing it. Thank you very much. Okay,
We're
this
trying.
one's about the packages where we started, right? Does the
Yeah.
change the packages apply to guests who are already booked with the original Plus or Premier package?
We all know that answer because we just talked about it. That answer is no. No, we will not make changes. So one thing I want to clarify though, and I don't know that I covered this earlier. If you have booked, you got the original package for 26. If you refare to a new price, you're going to then have the new package, right? Because we no longer have anything on sale that is the original. So,
Correct.
if somebody sees they think that there's a better price or something and they want to make a change and they're changing, they're going to now be on the new Plus or Premier.
So they got to be sensitive to that kind of thing. Okay, two
Yeah.
more real quick. So will the original Plus and Premier package amenities be honored? I heard you as yes.
Yes.
Provide you're
Yes.
not making changes. And we're not touching
Correct.
anything in 25 anymore, folks. Anything booked
Nope.
July 22nd, it's for voyages January 26th
Yes.
and beyond. And then the last
Yes.
question, because we're a minute over too, sorry. I have a group already booked for June of 26. How does this new structure impact that group? Is that what you
Yes.
just
So I did cover it, but I want to say it one more time because sometimes it takes twice, right? So June 26th, I have a group. If you already have people booked and they booked and you had Plus or Premier on your group, and then they're going to keep their original package. We're not going to change that for them, but your group will be changed to a standard group. And now you're going to add the new Plus and Premier as bookings are made. And then again, a reminder that is fine and should work just, swell for promotional group. If you have a true affinity, contact your business development manager who can help you manage that.
And so as we're wrapping up, I want to thank first and foremost always Marsha and the team that does an amazing job putting the webinar together. It takes a
Yes.
village, literally. Mary, I'm not visiting you in Alaska in January, I can tell you that right now, but you're coming to join us. Thank you for always being so generous with your time and your
Yes.
passion. This is why we're #1 in Alaska, folks. Do not doubt it. And I know there's a lot of content that we shared, but we thought Plus and Premier changes were critical because you all over-index in selling them. And did I tell you, maybe you missed it, and I like repeating it, you make your commission up front when you book Plus and Premier. Commission on things that they're going to buy anyway. So let's get together. Our next webinar, just so you know, keeping with our summer hiatus, I kind of love this. I don't have to wear hair and makeup. Normally I'm in my sweats. I love it. August 21, Marsha, is our next webinar together.
Yes.
And sneak preview, I think we're going to cover a little bit of Japan because we're going to be launching the new Japan season. So more to come. As always, thank you all for taking the time and really just being amazing supporters of our brand. Happy 60th Princess? Not yet. December. It's younger than I am. Talk to you in 2 weeks. Get a great day, everybody. Carpe diem.
Thank you, everybody.